Hey, all right, what's going on? So welcome back. Or welcome if this is your first time joining. I really appreciate you being here. Little stop in to walk and talk through what I've been going through, thinking about. Just kind of get my mind straight on what's going on too. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. It's Tuesday night for me, and I don't quite know what I want to get into, but I know a basis of it. It's kind of based on what I was doing the last couple weeks of Chaos through Switch. Last week I didn't ever mention though running the 16 through a switch, then through the inverter. That 16 seems to be a little too quick for it. You can try it yourself, see, and if you get any results where the 16 can be inverted and you can get kind of a quick rhythmic back and forth, that is very cool. I just had a really hard time setting that up. So try it out yourself. Right now I'm going to run the 8 through 1 switch, and that's going to go out to the top pulse converter here on the left, and then it's also going to go out to this inverter here, the CV inverter. And what we're going to do with that CV inverter is we're actually going to gate that with the triangle LFO. It's a little more random, a little more crazy. You could use the square, but I'm going to gate that with the triangle and then run that out to the second pulse converter here, and that's going to go to the snare drum. So we got the snare drum getting the gated, or the inverted I should say, and then the hi-hat is getting the direct. And there we go. Let me go ahead and what I'm going to do is send the 1-bit sample and hold to that, just like I have been doing. Kind of keep on that same track, and I'm going to connect the sample and hold to the clock divider 4. So basically what I have going on right now is I'm sending 8 through a switch that is being gated by the sample and hold 1-bit Chaos, and then that is being sent directly to a hi-hat and also inverted to a snare drum that is only being inverted when the triangle LFO is above 10 volts. So let's see. Now I'm going to also use the second switch to send 16 sporadically to the hi-hat, or not the hi-hat, to the kick drum. I think maybe I said hi-hat because I'm a little nervous to say the kick drum, but I'm going to send ba-ba-ba-ba-ba really fast. Yes, that's what it's going to sound like. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. To the kick through the 0.1 capacitor. And what shall I... Let's use the 1-bit direct so we have something a little more stable that's not changing as much as the sample and hold may, if you get crazy with it. So, and I'm also going to run 4 directly to the kick, which is then now going nuts. Let's see, where did I lose that to? Back here. So, there we go. There we go. So we got that kick going there. Let's see what the... And now I also want to connect 1 directly to the hi-hat, so I just have something always going on. Maybe I'll run that through an attenuator, just so I can bring that out if I want to. And the snare drum is kind of the wild card, where it's kind of crazy and can be either with the hi-hat or or like inverted to it. How about we connect 2 directly to the snare drum? Bring the frequency of that Chaos up. I just realized that was down, that's why we were getting no activity. Dramatic intro. Bring the release on that kick up, down a little bit, bring the attack up a little bit, and the volume up. Okay. Basically, that kind of stuff is what I've been messing with lately. Same stuff, just evolving a little bit. I think adding the LFO to the CV instead of what I've been doing is connecting 10 volt directly to the inverter, which is a waste of a CV controlled inverter. So I think adding a little variety to the snare drum is a cool way to go with that. And every time the LFO is over 10 volts, it also triggers the snare drum, which is kind of another addition to it, which could be a pro or a con depending on how you look at it. I don't, there may be a workaround to that I don't know about, but I kind of dig it, especially once you sync up the LFO, which I have not done yet. 2.25, and then I'm going to go ahead and also got a lot of going on the 4 here. So to the 4, I have the kick drum directly to the 4. I have the Chaos, and I also have the. Now I'm going to be sending the 4 to the mod of the LFO. And let's switch it to the square. Much cleaner, right out the gate. I could tell, like. And I wonder if you mess with the pulse width, whether like that's going to affect it too. It's kind of fun. I do feel it tighter, like with the square than with the triangle. I don't know why I always want to go triangle first, especially with a switch. It makes more sense, I suppose, to go with a square, on or off, you know. Mess with the frequency a little bit. Now with the mod, I feel like something like the triangle would be clever to use on the Chaos. So I'm going to run the triangle LFO through an attenuator. The direct is getting a lot of love, you can tell from the kick, which is kind of a silly sound right now, I know. I dig it. Maybe not silly, I shouldn't say silly. Okay, yeah, so kind of what I've been digging on. Also, using the LFO as a tremolo is pretty exciting as well. But I might save that for another day. It's been a long week, y'all. I hope you got something from this. So yeah, I would suggest doing something that modulates the CV of the gate, but also keeps it in time if you want to keep something kind of standard and funky. But if you want to get nuts, dude, I mean, that could be really fun with some weird modulation to the LFO, and yeah, we'll get there. I'm going to go ahead and get the bass involved in a way that I always do. I know, man, I don't want to call it a rut, because I love the sound of this thing. I think the bass with the ground to the CV, 3-bit Chaos to the CV of a VCA, and then running the ground through that VCA to the CV of the bass. I've said it almost every week. I just never heard anybody respond to it as well. If anybody likes that or does that, but man, I enjoy it. So here I go being silly. I'm going to go ahead and just connect it to the noise. Very undramatically just release it into the world. What am I just start adjusting the amount? Changing that up. Actually, why don't we? to connect the triangle LFO to the tune knob and just go nuts with it. I was doing this over the week and that was really fun. But that makes me also want to maybe attenuate. Yeah, that makes me want to. Okay, so I'm gonna run the gates from the kick. I'm just gonna invert those and then just run those directly to the bass because I want to get a little more rhythm out of that bass. A little rhythm out of the bass. It's gonna get louder too. Should have realized that. That noise does not give it a lot of oomph. So this is just the inverted gates of the kick. Bringing some reverb. Always a little band-aid. Maybe take the mod off the LFO for a minute. Lyra I could bring in if I wanted to. Let's see if it's out of tune like crazy. connected the LFO to the mod and reconnect it. And now we're going to go ahead and just, as I go out, I'm going to connect the modulation to the clock mod to connect that to 4 as well, but I'm going to do it in a silly way by connecting it to the sample and hold on the Chaos and see if that does anything stupid. Just flat out stupid. I hope you're having a great week. I hope all is well. I hope that you're getting everything you're hoping for. No, I just hope that you're happy and you're enjoying music and yeah, having a good day. I hope this gives you a little time off. Take care. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any ideas on how to spruce this up a little bit. Here I go, switching it to internal clock. Just gonna mess with the mod, connecting it to 4 through the sample and hold right now. Might switch it over to the Chaos. Let me see. Here we go. Thank you for being here. Have a great week. Probably didn't hear any of that because of that Lyra so loud, but I hope you have a great week. Appreciate you being here. Before I go to a Chaos, just to see the difference. So this is 4. And I'm going to go to 16 next. Kick's freaking out, probably because something's touching over here. That's why you always gotta make secure connections. A couple things came off, and that's why the kick was going so crazy. I'm just letting it ride, seeing what was happening, but slow the clock down a little bit. I was wondering what was going on with that kick, but yeah, just came disconnected up here. I was going to go to a different clock. 16, baby. this is without the without any modulation. Add some modulation. A little bit more. And what's happening right now is the clock divider 1 is also involved because that is being sent to the hi-hat as well. So I can take that out of the question maybe a little bit. And then I could also bring it up. And that messes with the modulation of the clock. So the hi-hat and the clock are being modulated, which is kind of fun. Kind of messy, kind of fun. Make sure the delay is turned down before you connect stuff to it if you don't want it to come on through. Have a great week. I'll talk to you. Oh yeah, and the boonies, and the boonies, and the boonies. And the boonies, and the boonies, and the boonies.